Today I'm going to show you how to access and utilize the NWEA Teacher Report. If I click, I've already logged into the SLDS system. As usual, I click the PK12 button to get to the reports page. One nice thing is if you have building access and in this filters area you click Teacher, that will immediately take you to the individual teacher reports. Once I click the NWEA Teacher Report tab, if I am working at the teacher level, it will show you a report immediately. For me, it won't, just because I have more different buildings that I can access. A couple of suggestions that I do have for staff members is to always click the detail report in the parameters window, because that'll give you a better report than the summary report is. Gives you a few more details you wouldn't have had otherwise. As you can see, sometimes it takes a little time for that to sift through, and when those letters get dark again, then you can help yourself out there. If you take a look here, it'll give you all of the different classes that you might choose from. If you're a secondary teacher, it just divides your classes by hour, you know, like second period, third period, fourth period English, that sort of thing. As an elementary teacher, my suggestion would be just to pick like your AM attendance period, and that'll give you what you want. And then you can click the test and go from there. In this particular instance, this teacher at the Brave Center Academy wouldn't have any test scores, because those students generally don't take the NWEA MAP score. So I'm going to show one different teacher. Again, I kind of have to wait for that to show up, but once it does, as you can see, I can pick different grades if I'm a ed teacher in this particular situation, or I can pick different tests. One suggestion I have is to pick all of the tests, and I'll show you here in a little bit. I'm going to hit apply, and then I'm going to suggest, and then the report will show up. One suggestion I have is to always use the actions button as shown in earlier videos to export this into Excel. I will not show the actual report just because that will show individual student names, but I'll show you what the Excel spreadsheet looks like if you would export this out. Once you do that, export it into Excel, you get a really nice report that shows you a lot of information. In this particular report, I've got the math survey goals. It divides it out into the different NWEA areas, and then it color codes your students' scores in those particular areas with those ranges. The maroon color is very low, orange is next, yellow is kind of that partially proficient area, green is good, and then purple, of course, is your students in your 95th percentile. So you can kind of get a vision for where these students might be a little lower or higher. Then you also get their overall RIT score here, as well as their test duration, their standard deviation, and then their percentage in relation to other students. Test duration, I think, is important because it kind of tells you whether the test was valid or not. When you take a look at these different test scores and you see this person here who took 23 minutes and you see those lowest scores, that might not necessarily be a valid test given in that particular situation. If you take a look at the tabs, this is the math test, this is the reading test, again divided out for you to take a look at where this class is at. If you take a look at this class, they scored very well more in the reading test. There aren't as many yellows and oranges. And then the third tab would be the language survey. If you have any questions about this report, you can contact me at the Brave Center. One thing to be aware of is that if you have building access, you can also run this report by grade level. If you want more details on that, you can contact me, and I'd be happy to help as well. Thank you.